So this has been a very long awaited video from my end, and that is going through my own 2 personal statements. So, if you don't already know, I basically applied for UCAS twice, once for accounting and finance and once for economics. So actually I have 2 personal statements. I'm going to be going through parts of my personal statement. I am going to read certain bits out. I'm not going to read all of it out because some of it is personal. If you want to see like a full in-depth personal statement video, then I would suggest looking at the one that's already on my channel, because this is kind of like an example type video. I could not find my 2 tripods today. I have one for lighting and one for the camera. I can't find them anywhere. I usually have them in this one bit, but I cannot find them. So today we're gonna go with this makeshift setup. I literally have the camera on top of a jug right now. Don't know if you, I'll see if I can show you. Like, anyway, okay, hopefully we're back. But yeah. Let us get on with the video. I'm gonna do the accounting and finance one first, simply because it's the easiest one to find. I have to take a bit more time to find the economics one. Oh, I have my laptop here, by the way. That's what I'm gonna be reading from. My God, I forgot about this. Okay, right. So, I found my 4,000 characters. Okay, I'm not gonna read the first bit. Okay, I found a paragraph that I'm happy to read out. There is like a little tiny personal bit in it, but I'm just gonna not say that, and I'm not gonna put that bit on screen, but I'm gonna read the rest. Just a reminder, I applied to LSE, King's and City for accounting and finance specifically. Okay, now we're testing my reading skills here. Okay. To discover how larger organizations also depend on numbers, I attended a Harvard webinar series on accounting for NGOs. I learned that they used advanced concepts of budgeting and resource allocation to improve their efficiency. They also practiced GAAP, which led me to reflect on the importance of legal and ethical practices in corporate accounting. Krugman's The Return of Depression Economics and the Crisis of 2008 gave me an insight into how moral hazard played a big part in the crisis and further reinforced my belief in ethical financial practices. The book also made me realise that economics was key to understanding financial markets. I later shared my learnings from the book on my YouTube channel that I started to develop my soft skills. A Cambridge masterclass exposed me to past macro and microeconomic policies and their effects. With my analytical skills, I further deducted that policies like interest rates also affect cash flow and valuations of businesses with their inflationary and deflationary effects. I'm just going to talk a bit about that. So you can see that there's a lot of like terminology in there. So we have GAAP, budgeting, resource allocation, efficiency, moral hazard, macro and microeconomic, interest rates, cash flow, valuations, inflationary, deflationary. So in one paragraph we have 12 key terms. And honestly, that's what places like LSE are looking for, because they need to see that you've understood some stuff about the subject that you want to go into, but also that you're ready to learn more. So the ready to learn more bit is, with my analytical skills, I further deduced that. So that's where like you're saying, okay, you know, I'm a student that knows some stuff but is prepared to learn more with your course. But at the same time, don't make this into an article, because it gets really easy to be like, oh yeah, terminology, stats, this concept, that concept, but at the end of the day, it's a personal statement. You have to relate it back to you. So make sure you do that. Like keep using I here and there, and actually genuinely relate it to you. So like the budgeting and the resource allocation is something that I learned, but it was related to me because I attended the Harvard webinar series. And the book by Krugman, I was able to put that in even though it was an economics book. I looked at my courses and I found that in LSE specifically, because this was my target university, they had economics, like mandatory economics, in first and second year, and like now as an LSE student that is what I have to do. So it's actually okay to put economics into an accounting and finance personal statement in this in this sense. Okay, another paragraph I can read is this one. So, while shadowing a second year accounting and finance student at LSE, I attended an options pricing theory lecture. With statistics being my favourite in A-level maths, it was fascinating to learn that the concept of the binomial model could be used to value stocks. I later found myself captivated with the use of ratio analysis such as EPS and debt to equity to assess a company's performance and risks. In a mock M&A deal at investment banker program, I assessed a company's value through share prices and the multiples approach. This interrelation between financial markets and accounting concept hugely intrigued me and expanded my knowledge on comparing businesses. Okay, now this is very maths based because in my course at LSE, you have to do a lot of maths. Whether you pick the mathsy modules or not, some are like compulsory, you have to do them. So this was a good way, this paragraph was a good way of showing that I am able to do maths, and especially statistics. So saying that, oh, statistics was my favourite in A-level maths, it genuinely was. It was fascinating to learn that the concept of the binomial model, okay, is showing that the things that I know now already, how can they be used in my degree? How can they be used further than my degree? And that's what this paragraph is about. Then taking accounting concepts such as EPS and debt to equity, like this is like, that comes under fundamental analysis, that taking those things and applying it to maths I've already done shows that, you know, I'm able to think ahead. Also comparing the two subjects in my joint degree, so accounting and finance, by saying, you know, by drawing comparisons between them, that shows that I'm able to think like interdisciplinarily, if that's a word. And it shows that, okay, I understand that I'm doing a joint degree, but it's not like two subjects in isolation. They've put it into one degree for a reason, and they want you to see the reason. I'm not going to read any more of this personal statement, but I can go through paragraph by paragraph, like what the gist of each paragraph was. So the first was kind of like an anecdote, like how that anecdote is now affecting me and my future decisions. Then I read the second paragraph, which was about the Harvard webinar series, all of that, like technical stuff. Then I had the shadowing as my third paragraph. Because I put the mock M&A deal at the end of the third paragraph, I then put some more work experience in the fourth paragraph. And I didn't just put one, I put two. Oh yeah, the thing with the work experience here, I didn't list them. I took an idea and related it to my experiences. And then not just work experience, something I did in my gap year, like doing some finance articles, I put that in there as well. But again, all related to one idea, it's not listing. Then we did the extracurricular things. I put, oh yeah, this is what I want to do in my gap year, this is what I have done at school, leadership, all of that. And then the last paragraph was the conclusion, which basically linked back to the start, that cyclical structure. If there is one thing I learned from English language, it's that having a cyclical structure will make you look so polished. Do it. Yeah, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited to join your institution. And that was that. So now we're going to do the economics one. Sorry, I feel like I changed the angle of the camera. I was having some difficulties. I think this is the final one. I did so many drafts of this that I don't even remember what I called the final version. I applied to LSE for economics, UCL for economics, King's for economics and management, Queen Mary for economics and management, and Royal Holloway for economics and management. Queen Mary, I think it might have been economics, I don't know, but economics or economics and management. I'm gonna go with the second paragraph again here. The second paragraph is also technical in this one. So it goes, this is a long paragraph, so bear with me here. The impositions of additional trade tariffs by the USA and China on each other left me questioning the rationale behind their decisions. In simplicity, such a drastic regulation of trade seemed to be irrational, fueled by extreme protectionism. However, I wondered if these decisions could be analysed in the context of behavioural economics and business management. The documentary The Joy of Winning introduced me to the science of decision-making, inspiring me to independently study game theory further. Being mathematically inclined, I found the modelling of complex decision-making processes very exciting. I discovered how the prisoner's dilemma could help understand certain aspects of the trade war. By imposing higher tariffs, the US is trying to reduce trade deficits while China wants to increase its trade surplus, thus resulting in non-cooperation. Motivated, I took an online course on how cooperation and competition work with uses of Nash equilibrium and Pareto optimality in informed managerial decision making. Here I got accepted to every single university except LSE, so it was definitely a good personal statement. Yeah, that linked to the introduction. So the introduction, I talked about Brexit and the presidential election of 2016, both of them happening together, and then as I explored further. So the second paragraph very much links to the first. I'm gonna read the fourth paragraph now because this is again about the book that I mentioned in my accounting personal statement, The Return of Depression Economics and the Crisis of 2008. So here I wrote, Krugman's The Return of Depression Economics and the Crisis of 2008 captivated me with the account of historical economic events and crises that helped shape today's global fiscal and monetary policies. I felt that the use of Capitol Hill babysitting Cobb as a model for a complex economy was a bit of an oversimplification. However, I grasped the importance of concepts like the liquidity trap and quantitative easing in modern economics. Furthermore, for an RES essay competition, with my research and analysis, I presented how the UK government's domestic and international spending crucially complement each other. So that is a very different take on the book than what I did in the accounting one. There's no wrong or right in that, it's just a different way of looking at it. And that's the thing, with one book you can take a lot of different things. It may be an economics book, but you can, like I did for this, take something for accounting and finance. You just have to know how to link it. Don't do anything that's too far-fetched and link it that way because it just doesn't make sense. Go with something slightly different if you can, but not too far-fetched. Also, one thing I did not mention is please make sure that you research everything that you're putting in your personal statement. I also wrote about the Cambridge University masterclass in this too, and then I linked it to my studies of human geography. That's another way of looking at one event, one experience, and taking it into something that's related to economics and then something that's related to accounting and finance, as I did in my previous personal statement. So you can see, even though I applied twice, my experiences didn't change. I didn't get many new experiences in the period that I reapplied in either, so it's all about taking the experiences you have and framing them in the correct way. Hopefully they gave you a good gist of what they're kind of looking for in a good, successful personal statement. If you have any other questions about personal statements, do let me know, but I don't think I'll be doing anything more on personal statements for the time being. Maybe in the future I will. Right now I'm going to be focusing more on LSE content, so if you are thinking about going to LSE in the future, it's one of your choices, then definitely stick around for more of that content. If you enjoyed this, then please smash the like button, also subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell icon. But yeah, that is it from me. Bye!